Today we have the Roughleaf Dogwood, Cornus drummondii. Some keys will call it Swida drummondii. It was named for Thomas Drummond, a 19th century Scottish botanist. I'm standing in a thicket here. It extends about as far as you can see in the frame along a horse trail at Shelby Farms Park in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. This is a member of the family Cornusii, along with all the other dogwoods, and in some keys the tupelos are included in that family as well. Its growth form is that it is often a thicket forming shrub, and sometimes it will grow as a tree, as you see most of the specimens here. When it grows as a tree, it will have a short trunk and a thin spreading crown. When it grows as a shrub, it will form dense thickets via propagating by root sprouts. Its habitat is that it is abundant in the Midwest. It is found in a variety of sites, including moist stream banks, wooded bluffs, and limestone outcrops. And it is a very hardy plant. It can thrive in areas with very little sun and very little water. So it's found, again, in a variety of sites. Abundant in the Midwest once more. In the Southeast, it's a little less common. Where I'm standing, this is at the westernmost extreme of the state of Tennessee. You go further east in Tennessee than this and you're probably not going to find it. The leaf is deciduous, simple, and opposite, with a distinctive venation that can at least bring you into knowing that the specimen is a dogwood. The veins will often arch towards the tip of the leaf rather than extending towards the margin. And that is common among dogwoods. The blades of the leaf are very similar to Cornus alternifolia, the alternate leaf dogwood, and I'll give some examples at the end of the video as to how you can distinguish the two species. When the leaves first appear and expand in early spring, they are densely covered with white hairs, but later they become dark green above, light green below, and they have a very distinctive rough texture owing to very stiff hairs on the upper surface of the leaf. They're not quite so rough that I would call them scabrous. You're not going to sand a board with them, and you probably couldn't stick it to your shirt, but they are rougher than other dogwoods. The bud has 2 to 3 overlapping scales. I'll attempt to include a close-up shot so you have a better idea. The terminal bud is less than 1/4 of an inch long. The lateral bud is even smaller than that, and the flower bud is often elongated and very slender. The twig, again, is very slender. It's light green and pubescent in early spring. The newer growths tend to have a reddish brown color, and as they age, it'll develop more of a grayish tone. The bark is anywhere from gray to reddish brown. It's often very smooth and thin when the tree is young, and as the tree ages, it will become very finely fissured. The flower of the roughleaf dogwood is also very similar to that of Cornus alternifolia, the alternate leaf dogwood, being that it is bisexual with white petals, and it's about 1/4 of an inch wide, and it is borne in flat-topped, showy clusters 2 to 4 inches wide on leafy twigs. It's very fragrant, and it appears between May and June. The fruit is a distinctive white drupe, a creamy white drupe with a spot in the middle that resembles somewhat a doll's eye, and it's often about 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and it appears in late summer. This video is made in October. Excuse me, a mosquito on my ear. So the fruit is just out of season, but if it were here, it would be suspended on this branching structure seen at the end of the twig. And that is known to be a favorite food of more than 40 species of birds in this area. Darn these mosquitoes. And those fruits are borne in loose clusters that hang on red stalks, and each drupe will bear anywhere from 1 to 2 seeds. This species can be confused with a few other varieties of dogwood. One of them being Cornus alternifolia, again, the alternate leaf dogwood. The easiest way to distinguish Cornus drummondii from alternifolia is that The alternate leaf dogwood, as its name suggests, has alternate leaves, and Cornus drummondii has opposite leaves. Another similar species is Cornus asperifolia, the tough leaf dogwood, as opposed to roughleaf, which is a small shrub that is found in the coastal plain region of the southeast. And it has a larger bluish fruit, whitish to blue. If you find a dogwood that has a white drupe fruit and a rough textured upper leaf blade, you know the combination of those two characteristics is distinctive. You know you have a roughleaf dogwood, Cornus drummondii. Fun fact about this species is that the Iroquois people used a tincture of the fruit to cure gonorrhea. So if you ever find yourself in a bind, go out in the woods and look for yourself some roughleaf dogwood, Cornus drummondii.